Hello, my name is E.R.A. McCarthey, and I've recently completed a series of novels called the World Peace Organization. And even though that sounds pretty tranquil, don't let the name fool you. These are terrifying, terrifying visions of what the future might be if we don't change our ways. But all of it, everything in this series of books, is what I think very well could happen if we don't change our course of action. Right now, we have such little value for each other, such little value for our children, and very little value for human life. And when you have that situation, when you have that society where no one's caring for or valuing each other or supporting their children like they're the future, it can create a pretty terrifying world. What I think is really exciting about my novels is they are horrifyingly possible fiction. Everything you read in these books has happened, can happen, will happen. It's the road ahead of us. It's our path. It's where I see us crashing into if we don't change things. The first novel, The Clinic, definitely deals with the children. So in these stories, you're going to be from the perspective of the children and the people in their lives that are hurting them. But most importantly, you're going to see how helpless they are. You're going to see how horrific it is. You're going to have that heart-pounding terror that the children experience when someone comes for them. I mean, they have no voice, they have no protection. They're just at the mercy of whoever's been given control or custody of them. I think that's something that's happening now. It's happening globally, it's happening every day. And even though this is a future vision, I think it holds a lot of truth for what's happening today. You're going to read my stories and you're going to be so upset, and you're going to want to stop for a minute, and you're going to say, nobody would ever do this. This is not happening. No one does this to children, but they do. It's not a future situation, it's a today situation. All over the world right now, children are suffering terrible, terrible things. There was a concept, it takes a village to raise a child, and it does. But the other side of that coin is the children become the village. If we don't care for them, if we don't support them, if we don't give them the tools that they need, there is no future for us. It's kind of amazing how it all started. A year ago, I was watching the news, and there was a new law passed for women's reproductive rights. Now, what it did is it allowed women to have late-term abortions. Some people don't necessarily understand what that means. What it can mean is the baby being murdered on the day it's born, in the womb as it's being born, or even on the table after birth. And so it's different than most abortions, and it's a much bigger decision. And I was watching that it had passed in New York. And when they announced that it had passed, there were people laughing and smiling and cheering and giggling and carrying on. And I couldn't believe it. And I get abortion, I get it. I get both sides. But if that choice is made, it is the choice to terminate a life. And it is not a joke. It is not something to be laughed about or treated callously. So when I was watching this and these people are carrying on, it just really hurt me. And it just made me realize how little respect we have for children, how little we value them. And so after I saw this, just all these people celebrating this very serious decision in a way I felt was disrespectful and even cruel, especially to women who have made that decision, I couldn't sleep. And I just tossed and turned, and I thought about all the different things I'd seen and experienced and read about, all the different situations where children were just cast aside, tortured, all the times people knew about it and turned away. And I thought about the way that people behaved about murdering babies on the day they're born, and I just couldn't sleep. Finally, after hours and hours, I was able to get some rest, and the next day I woke up with a complete novel in my head. All the stories, all the people, everything that unfolds, it was just there. And ever since then, I've had more dreams, and call them visions, if you will, more visions of what's going to happen, of what's going to happen to us if we keep being so callous about human life. Not just children, but all human life. We treat it like it doesn't matter. We treat each other like numbers, statistics, and labels. And I think it's worse for the children because they can't even stand up and speak for themselves. But there's also so many other people, like our seniors, our elders. And these novels have taken me to explore what this means, to explore what's going to happen if we keep continuing down the path of not valuing each other in human life, continuing down the path of stomping on the weakest of us. And it's kind of crazy, you know, I'm writing and I'm crying because it's so sad, or I'm terrified as much as I think you, the reader, are going to be, or I'm just shocked because what I'm writing is sick and twisted and horrendous and it should never happen, but it does happen. It happens now, it happens often, and I think it's just going to get worse. You can read these books and you cannot care about my views on the world at all. You can pick them up just because you like scary novels and you like your heart to pound and you want to have something that's terrifying and unique. Or if you're a person looking around the world and you're thinking, what's going on? How can I change things? How can I make things better? What's missing here? Then these are definitely the novels for you. I think by seeing this path that we're on and seeing the destination it's leading to, by changing your perspective, we have a chance at changing our future, our destination for sure. Either way, I hope you enjoy these novels, and I definitely think they're going to keep you up at night.
But many